Hello, I'm Julia Cordova. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel and liking my videos. I really appreciate it. Last week, I had talked about a chop week in the markets, and boy, did we get it. I was unwilling to commit whether we'd go down or up because I really didn't know. And I thought it might be a close call in either direction. And I also thought that gold miners would go up. Yay. But I also, again, thought that oil would go down. What am I doing? All right, now let's talk about what I think are the highest probability odds for next week, this week. Okay, I think we're going to get some drama in the markets. And again, I'm sorry, I am unwilling to commit in which direction that drama happens. I have a feeling about it, and so I'll talk about that on the charts. But what I'm most confident in about next week is miners, gold miners. I believe we will have some continuation to the upside, but let's see. I also think, again, that oil is going to go down. And here's why I think that. Even though I have been sort of short biased the last couple of weeks, because of all of the volatility intra-week, I've actually managed to make money against all odds. So why do I think then that this week is different again? Because usually when you see a lot of volatility, and it's been a lot in oil, the weekly candles have been huge and the up and down movement has been huge. Usually that's not indicative of then, okay, further upside. Usually that means we're at some sort of at least short-term inflection. But what do I know? I don't know. I'm just like you guys. This is just entertainment, right? No financial advice. Okay, now with that said, let's talk charts. You ready? All right. Okay, so let's start off by looking at ES or SPX weekly futures. Oh boy, we closed right under our living with chemistry line here. It's hidden. Here, move it out there. So it's sort of Nowheresville, almost where we were last week. It's a little bit even lower than what this chart shows because of the way that TradingView closes the week. But anywho, so I think there is going to be significant drama, I believe, to the downside, but I am watching this new and fresh channel that I drew in, because if it does break from this channel, then the measured move will be approximately this line, which I took from other places that aren't listed on this chart. Just, trust me, guys. Anyway, I do believe that if we break out of this channel, we'll have some upward movement, which I will then short. Here's why. Because I do not think we're going to get the kind of dramatic, we've already proven we've broken this trending. If you've been watching over the last several weeks, things are different this time. So I don't think we're going to get dramatic upside. I think it's more likely that either chop or dramatic downside, to which may be bought quickly or not quickly. But I will buy it if it goes down. Let's see what happens first. Let's see. Okay, now let's look at the daily. All right. Yeah, so similar here. Friday was sort of a want kind of day, not a lot of movement. It was very boring, actually. And I had bought some puts on Thursday just in case we got scary. But you know what? There's just usually Fridays for me are like I don't know why I even trade on Fridays. I have kept track, I don't know if you have as well, of like how your performance is on a day-to-day basis. And Fridays for me are just trying not to screw up things. If they're good and if they're bad and I try to make them better, it's just never good. So anyway, okay, we still have not filled this gap that was left a long time ago at 4252. That's going to drive me insane should it stay open. But I do think that any kind of flush to the downside, 4183 on the weekly basis, is good support. And of course, below that, 4077, which just happens to correspond with the 50 MA. Wow, look at that. Weird. Okay, let's look at Nasdaq. Okay, so I live tweeted last week when we hit this support because I did think it would bounce. And but I wasn't sure, frankly, whether the bounce would hold. And I thought maybe if it held last week, then I don't think it'll hold this week. What does that mean? Well, if you look at this trend line, this is weird. It's very consistent. Like every time it hits here, it's a double bounce. Bounce, 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 bounce. So the same deal would be hitting it and going bounce. So either it won't hit it, and that's what I mean. It could just to the upside. Or if it does hit it, I don't think it'll hold this time. And here's where I would be looking for support. This looks like it's far down, but really it's just a back test of this original breakout. So 14,159 is where I would look to absolutely buy the dip should it not hold. But as always, a level to a level. Let's look at small caps, RTY, IWM. Oh my gosh, like this triangle is like the most triangular thing I've ever seen. So we have I don't know which way it's going to go, and I don't know if it'll have a fakey breaky one way or the other first, but it's going to go huge in whatever direction it picks to go. And here are the levels I'm watching for this week. The top of the triangle is 2261.8. The point of no return, better go higher, else I'm going mad, is 2275.4. The robot defended line for algos is 2216.8. Boom. All right, let's look at Bitcoin. I always love looking at Bitcoin. It's very exciting because you know what? It's never the same as when I prepare these videos. When I look at it, I'm like, oh, okay. So can I just say something? I'm going to say it. Okay. I was looking at this. Look at this over here, okay? It's sort of a mountain and then a head and shouldery type thing, okay? And then look at over here. Like this is such a similar looking formation that like, I mean, everything looks extremely like this to this is this to this. This is this. I mean, it's so super similar looking to me. And then the down and then the up is here. And so I'm wondering if we're not going to get some downwards action here. Anyway, I took a trend line and I moved it. This time I'm showing you where I got it from, over here, here. And so I will just mark that for you. If I were not in a position here already, which I'm not because I'm not trading Bitcoin because I can't handle it. Oops. I just can't, guys. You know what? You know what? There's a lot of ways to make money. I'm so happy for you if you're making money. But the reality is I am so, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? I am so like obsessive that I need a break on the weekends. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. That's why when I did have a position, I just hodled it. I can't trade it because it's just, ugh. Anyway, okay, so 55330 is the sort of close above, and let's see what happens. But if I didn't have a position, I would take this recent high here at today's high, which is 55. Okay, let's say 55,600, and I would buy above and put a stop down below here. Just like if I were looking to short, I would short below here, and then let's see what happens when it hits the orange line. But for now, it's just consolidation. It's not doing anything, and we'll see what happens. But there is some resistance at the top of this channel, and we have some immediate support coming up, depending on where it hits. If it does go cuckoo, this is going to be Sunday, Monday. Okay, let me look. Okay, this is going to be Monday is 52,101.4. That will be the support if it goes down. Okay, and then if it gets much below that, I would expect it to retest the key again. But this is yeah, this was surprising and good, right? Right. But it never hit my ambulance line. I don't like that. Behave yourself, Bitcoin. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at. Those are the pivots. Okay, let's look at Ethereum. I haven't done that in a while. And can I just say that when I posted my Ethereum chart on Twitter, I had this pink line drawn and we were nowhere close to it ever. And people were like, Julia, your lines are very weird. But I mean, fakey breaky, bye. And then here, look at this. I mean, seriously, look at can I just look at this? All right, anyway, 3619, 3,619 point, let's say 50, in case I just got off here, is resistance. And support coming up Monday, Tuesday is 3285.86. And below that, I think no bueno. Okay, just short term at least. I mean, it's certainly got this key, and that would be higher low if it were to hit it 2960.78. But so far, it's resisted very nicely off of this pink line this time. So that's sort of the place to short if you were interested in shorting Ethereum, which I am not, but if I was. Okay, now let's look at GDX. Okay, so GDX finally had a green week, which I thought, and I shared with you, and that I thought miners was going to go up against all odds. And somebody asked me, and they were right? They were like, well, because I said, it's back tested the key again since Fed week, first time. Also happened to be miraculously, I think that's the 9. Yeah, that's the 9 MA. Okay, and so far it's been held down. They go, well, isn't that bearish when it like back test previous support/resistance? And okay, yeah, maybe it is. However, this I think is bullish. Here's why. Because it's been so tamped down here, and it's, if you ever done harmonic trading, and I've looked into it when I first started trading, I looked into a lot of things. But anyway, it looks like it's forming, I don't know if it's called a bat. I think it's called a bat. It looks like it could potentially form a bat based on me eyeballing these proportions. It could go up here to this previous gap level. That would be amazing. So, anywho, I'm a little different, and absolutely it can go down to this lightning line, in which case I will buy the bejesus out of it. But I am expecting, and it might dip this week at the beginning of the week. I don't know. It might gap up. I have no idea. But if it dips, I will attempt to buy it, more of it. And then if it really poops, then I'll just let it go and try to buy it again here, because it does, I think, need to continue this momentum. It can't get, I wouldn't want it to get too much lower than 30-ish. Then I'll be upset and probably wrong. Okay, let's look at gold. So a lot of people were very disappointed in Friday's action, and I know I was as well, but you know what? Do you think that they would telegraph to everybody, like, if you have one bad day, do you think they're going to be like, well, everybody should get bearish now because look at that one bad day? No, they're not that kind. They're not going to like let all the, and I saw some super gold bulls throwing in the towel last week, and maybe they're right. Maybe this is all a dream and we're not actually moving up. But as far as I'm concerned, would I have liked to see the weekly close above this blue level? Yep. The fact that we closed just below it, does it really worry me? Not at this point. We still bounced perfectly off of this orange dotted. We held it. Now for next week, just even opening flat would be the orange dotted. So really for next week, 1757.3 would be the value to hold for me to maintain my, well, this is going to potentially whoop-de-whoop up. Okay, at the end of the week, I really have wanted to have held that. If looking to buy a dip here, it's not too far down, 1751.6. But it's starting to do the thing, right? Maybe, possibly, I don't know. It does look kind of yuck here, which is actually, I think, a good thing for bulls, because you don't want it to look too great, right? You don't want everybody to be like, oh, it's going to the moon, because it didn't then go to the moon. You want a lot of haters and a lot of, well, I'll buy it down here. Maybe. Okay. I'll buy more down there. Good for you. Let's look at silver. This is the weekly. Silver closed higher than the previous week, even though it wasn't all dramatic. And same thing, back tested this, same thing as miners anyway, back tested this 9MA and then went womp womp. Now, for this week, what I would like to see, if it doesn't go down, which it might, I would like to see it get above this 23.49 level. And I think that if it does, we'll see a very significant squeeze. If not next week, the week after. Boom, 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 boom. Because it's been doing nothing but building a base here, and it has some, I know it's not divergence. I don't, oh yeah, okay, yeah, this was divergence, right? From here, oops, here to here, price was lower, and then, okay, I mean, did it already play out? Maybe, but it looks to me like buying activity. I could be wrong. I don't know if I am or not. We'll find out. Okay, let's look at oil. Ugh, gross, oil. What are you trying to do to me? This is the weekly. That's what I mean. This is like this was a huge candle. And I mean, in the middle of the freaking night, I happen to be up because I have issues. It back tested 75 and I was like, oh my goodness. I do have puts, which are, I know it's too complicated to explain, but I do have puts, oil puts that do expire on Friday. So perhaps they will screw me by doing some kind of weird doji candle. I don't know. But I do think that the energy bulls, there's just too many of them. They're just really, I don't want to say, okay, because probably a lot of you are, because should be, I guess, because look at this movement. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I shorted 80 again on the feuds. Right now it's 79.35. But, you know, my whole strategy when I scalp on futures is if I have enough contracts going, I try to take profit pretty quickly to get myself green. Then I try to do a resistance level like this 78.22, for example, or support if I'm shorting 78.22, and then I let the rest ride to break even. Okay, that's what I do usually. Okay, let's look at Nutter. Natty finally does look like it actually might cool down a bit. And we thought that, right? Yeah, we thought that. Now, but if you look at the candle, did it close that much lower? No, because it whoop-de-whoop, but it's starting to cool down. I think, I don't know. I'm just not messing with it until I see it do something that I think, I mean, I might actually take a little small short if I see it gap down and then come up a little bit. I might do that. But I don't want, this is a lot of movement and this could really be detrimental to your account if you go in the wrong direction here. But I do think that if it does dip, dips are to be bought. And a nice dip would be this week down to this 5.298 level, below that 5.21. And then, I mean, definitely 4.52 would have everybody, or even this crazy MA here for the daily. But something dramatic like this would have everybody going, aha, and then whoop, okay. But I don't know if it'll get there in 1 week. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, and for this week, that'd be here, 4.47. Okay, so that sort of corresponds. That would be a back test here. But it's possible. We'll have to see. I mean, actually, yeah, we'll have to see. Okay, now let's look up at Joe. Okay, I have been, you know how dumb I feel when I say Joe is bullish and then it immediately goes down for almost the whole week, but then it bounced back up. Yay. I'm very bullish, Joe. This is really a back test in my opinion. Could it back test again? Yes. What I would not want to see happen is it closing below 52.07. That would be a little bit like, ugh, gross. But for now, it looks like it back tested. It made me look bad, which is always a good thing for bulls. You know, if somebody's bullish, then it kind of makes you look bad at first, and then it goes back up, so they stop talking about it, and then it goes way far up. That's good for us. Okay, but here's the measured move, 77.07, I think. And the longer it chops around and doesn't poop, the more likely it is to get there. Okay, that's it. Make myself big. Thank you again so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel and liking my videos. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you on the interwebs. Okay, bye.